administration part, right? So client administration part. So in the client administration, we are discussing about the how to create the client. What is client? How to create the client settings, changes, logical systems, and so to log into the newly created client, and we have to change the one parameter, and so that one we have discussed, and profiles and parameters we have discussed, right? So and also in the client administration, after that we can log into the newly created client with whatever the client you have newly created. So you can log into the newly created client with SAP star with the pass. For that one, you need to change the parameters and profiles, right? That one we know, right? So just we can log in the SAP star, and so we can use the pass. Then we can able to log into the newly created client here, right? Suppose 100, then you are able to log in here. So for that one, in the RG10 and RG11, we need to change the profile parameters here, right? Profile parameters we have to change it here. This one we have done yesterday, right? So now let's see how. So now in the client administration only, we have the client copies concept. Client copies concept. So which means client copy means same as like copying the data from one client to another client. One client to another client here. So that is possible. Why? Because as of now you have done the changes. Suppose example, if you take it out, so this is the your SAP system, right? So you have the 000 001, and you have the client. So yesterday you created the one more client, that is called the, so some other client you created, right? New client called the 500 client or something you created, right? So here there is a procedure in SAP client copies. Bring the data from the other client here, that's we can perform it here, right? So by default 000 001 we have, and a new client we created, but there is no data in this client. So we have the option to copy the data from other client to another client, is called the client copy here, right? So locally you are copying means within the system between two clients you are copying the data, then we will, it is called as a local client copy. Local client copy here. There are the three types of client copies are available here. One is the local client copy. Second one is the remote client copy. Third one is the client export and import method. Client export and import methods. So they are the three types of client copies are available in SAP here, right? Any system, we have the three types of client copies are available: local, remote, export, and import. So local means within the system between two clients, copying the data is called the local client copy. So within the system, only within the system, so you can copy the between the two clients, copy the data. That is called the local client copy. Right? You got it. Locally, you are copying. It means within the Hyderabad city, from one place to another place, copying the data is called the local client copy. Okay, local client copy here, right? That is what we have here, right? So then the local client copy, the transaction code for the client copy we will use called the SCCL, local client copy, SCC, right? So then L means local client copy, locally transferring the data from one client to another client. Why? Because so SAP data is client specific data. In this client, you have done the some changes. Then this is the new client. Then there is no data. But if you need the data of this client to this client, then you need to use the client copies method. You can use it here. Client copies method, you can use it here for transferring the data here. That's what we can do that one here. So local client copy methods, you can use it here, right? So local means within the city only, right? So best example, within the city, from one place to another place. Suppose example within the Hyderabad, so LB Nagar to Vanasthalipuram, LB Nagar to Uppal. So to transfer the data locally, that we call the local client copy here, right? Local, right? So then, so how to perform this one here, right? So log into the newly created client. You need to log into the newly created client here, right? So log into the newly created client. Target side you need to log in. So remember, you need to log into the newly created client first with SAP star and pass, right? So suppose example here, so let's take ECC. Okay, so here newly created a client. So 500 client yesterday we created, right? So SAP star, then PASS pass, then you are able to log in, right? So then go to the login to the newly created client. Yes, first point, login to the newly created client only. Example 500 client. Okay, then use SAP star pass. Why? Because we don't have any user IDs and passwords in the newly created client, only client you created. Then how to log into the newly created client means, right? There is a SAP star and pass. There is a parameter we have to change it. Login slash no underscore automatic SAP star, that you can change it, right? So log into the newly created client. Then so execute the SCCL transaction code. Then so select the select the client copy profiles here, right? Suppose there the multiple profiles are there. SAP underscore all the data, SAP underscore customization data, SAP underscore so user master data, SAP underscore user customization data. So there are the multiple profiles are available here. Go to the SCCL, then you can select the profile, which client copy data you want to transfer, SAP underscore APPL or SAP underscore cust v profile. So there are the multiple data. Why? Because this is for copying the data. But data, there are the multiple types of data, right? Users related. No, so some customer, they don't have to copy the all the data. SAP underscore all means all the data you want to copy, but they don't want to copy the all the data. They want to copy only customization data. Then SAP underscore custody variants, right? User, right? So there the multiple types of profiles are there here. Multiple types of profiles are there here. So in these profiles, whatever the data you want to copy from one client to another client, only that data will be copied. Or because some other times we don't have to copy, we don't need to copy the all the data, only specific data here. Then so suppose I selected the SAP underscore user. I want to only copy the user master data from user master data. I want to copy only user master data. I want to copy it here, right? From which client to which client here, right? Suppose example, so 100 client. Suppose like 100 client to so 500 client, only users I want to copy, right? You selected source client, you selected target client, you logged in, profile you logged in, selected. Then you can run as a background job. It will run it in the background, that you can schedule as a dialog mode, right? So dialog mode, if you schedule it, your screen will be freezed. So run schedule as a background job. Just click on the immediately schedule it here, click on the continue, then background job is scheduled, then log is in the SCC3 transaction code here, right? So if you go to the SCC3 transaction code, so there is a log here. See, processing, client copy is processing here. See, client copy is processing here, right? 101 tables, total 103 tables. So it's done. Almost client copy is done, right? Local client copy. So this is the so done, right? All the data got copied here, right? Local client copy SAP underscore copied here. Total so 20 seconds. 20 milliseconds, 20 seconds got completed here, right? So 103 tables, 103 tables. So how many lines copied? So 23,000 lines got copied here, right? So means data got copied here, data got copied here, right? So this way we have the, this way we have the, so client copy. So means, so we have the whatever the users we have, only users you copied from the 100 to 500. So now 100 client you are logging with the, so basis user, some other users also you have, right? So then what you can do, you can log into the 100 to 500 client now with the same user. Why? Because you have copied the same users and same data you copied. Now you can log in with the same user and same passwords you can log in now, right? So which means how you logged in now? Why? Because you are not created any data in the 500 client, but even though you logged in means you copied the data, users data, passwords from, so 100 to 500 using the SAP underscore user profile, which means it will copy the only user master data and everything here. Only user master data, it will copy it here. Right? So that is the purpose of the client copies here. See, this all the users are got copied. In the 500 client, this all the users got copied. So the how the this users got copied means because of you done the client copy. So all the users got copied here. So like this, we can perform the local client copy, right? That is the within the system. Within the system, from one client to another client, one client to another client, to copy the data is called the local client copy here, right? Select the profile. Then first of all, we need to log into the newly created client, then execute the SECL transaction code, then select the client copy profile. Any profile you can choose it here, right? Any profile you can choose it. Then so schedule as a background job. Schedule as a background job. Then you can monitor the status in SCC3 transaction code. Okay, this way we have to do the client copy procedures and everything here. This way we have to perform the client copies, right? So log into the newly created client here, log into the newly created client, then perform the activities here, right? That is the main thing of the client copy procedures here. Okay, so same, whatever the new client, you need to log into the newly created client. Why? Because client copies are pull mechanisms. Remember this word, client copies are pull mechanisms, not the push mechanisms. If you need the data from this client, you need to log into the target client and you need to pull from here. Right? So you need to log into the target client here. So that's why I mentioned as a newly created client here. Right? This is a very important here. Which client you created newly? So you need to log into that client, and so you need to use the this one and schedule as a background job and monitor the status here. That is the one thing here. Okay. That is the local client copy. Got it? So yesterday I think someone deleted this all the clients they have deleted. Right? So they have deleted the all the clients they have deleted. See? So 000, 001, 100 client, everything got deleted by people. I don't know what I have to tell, whether intentionally they have deleted or, uh, but they have deleted. At least it's a master client also they have deleted. Not sure who deleted what. Okay, so got it right, local client copy. Then let's start discussing about the remote client copy here. There is a one more method, remote client copy here, right? So what is the remote client copy here? So remote client copy.
Sir,
Okay.
question.
Yeah.
The ones which got deleted, there's a way you could able to get them back, or you have to recreate everything?
Actually, if they delete data manually, so that we cannot get back. Only thing is we need to restore the system.
or
But
restore the
what
system?
they, yeah, only thing is restore the system here. But they are not deleted, I guess, here. Only thing is
Mhm.
what they have done is they have deleted the entry from the SEC4. That's
Mhm.
what I done it. So data they have not deleted. Why? Because if they delete the data, there is a log file here in the SEC3.
Then
Same
you
how
would
we
know.
have the log file, there is a log file here. But
Mhm.
here, so there is no log file here. There is no log file here. So they have not deleted. Only thing is, so only entry they have deleted from the SEC4. If there is no entry, we cannot log in. See here. So there is no 000001 client here. So now
Mhm.
if I try to log into the 001, so 001, let's see, it says that client is not available, right? Then
Mhm.
which means there is no entry here. So so it's logged by the some other people. So we can create the entry. So then people can able to log into the system. Mean they can able to use the system that client as well here. So someone doing.
Mhm.
So if you the entry is there in that table, then people can able to do anything here. Main thing is the entry. So they have not deleted transaction data. Just only entry they have deleted. Not sure how they have done it, but so don't do it anyone. Okay, that is the one.
Sir,
So
to
the
copy
yeah,
the client, sir, we have to always log into SAP Star and pass.
newly created client, we don't have any other users except SAP Star and Pass. So then we have to log into the newly created client and
Standard
we have to
user. Okay.
yeah. So if it is already existing user, existing client, already data is there, already your user is there means yeah, you can log into your user, you can perform it. So for newly created client, especially we don't have any data. So that's why we need to use the this SAP star and pass. We have to use it.
Sir, we can also log in by GDIC.
It will not allow newly created client, only SAP star with pass. For the newly created client, there are no users, no data, no SAP star, no DD, no DDAC, nothing. Only SAP star with pass is allowed when you done the parameter changes. That parameter you have to enable it. Then only SAP star with pass is enabled, logged in. Then you can log in with the SAP star with pass into the target client here. That is the main.
Okay.
The next one is the remote client copy here. Remote client copy. Remote client copy means, so this is local client copy means between one system, between two clients within the system, right? Remote client copy means this is the between two systems. Suppose example, you have the one system is here, then you have the one more system is here. So to transfer the data from one client to the another client system is called the remote client copy. Remote client copy here from one client to another client is called the remote client copy here, right? Suppose here you have the one client is there, 100 client. Here you have the 500 client is there. But this requirement is to copy the data from the another system, another source system here. Then this is called the remote client copy here. So here this is the source. This is the source here. Here this is the target here, target. So copying the from so one to another is called the between two systems. If I talk about the abbreviation wise, between two systems, between two clients, transferring the data is called the remote client copy. Between two clients, between two systems, copying the data. So in this case, what you have to do? So you need to, first of all, you need to establish the connectivity between these two systems. Connectivity, right? That is the very important, right? So without establishing the connectivity, how can you transfer the movie or video or document from your mobile to your friend mobile? right? So connectivity has to be established. Connectivity in the sense, if I talk about the in our mobile language, in our language, so Bluetooth connectivity or wire connectivity. So there is a connectivity through Bluetooth connectivity. We will connect it. We will send the document to, so from your friend to your mobile to your friend, you will transfer the data here. But local is within the system only from one client to another client. But this requirement is we have the data in the another client, another system. You want to do be transferred to the, so the target different client here, newly created client here. Then that is called the remote client copy. Why? Because you are doing the remotely from this client to this client. You are doing the remote client copy here, right? That is called the remote client copy here. So here you need to first of all establish the connectivity between the two systems here. Suppose like we have the two systems, NW1 and ECD. Then you need to establish the connectivity between the NW1 to ECD, the connectivity. So here remote client copy, there is a subtopic will come like a remote connectivity, remote RFC. In SM59, we can create the RFC connectivity, remote function call. RFC means remote function call here, connectivity settings here. In RFC, we can do the, in SM59, we can perform the connectivity. There are the types of connectivities are there. Sir, is it only for SAP to SAP? No. SAP to SAP, SAP to non-SAP, SAP to third party, SAP to HTTP, many other connectivities we can perform from SAP. That's why within the SAP we can do the seamless integration with the other third party, other tools. Yeah, right? That is the main thing here, right? So RFC, remote function call, in SM59 we can do the changes here, remote function call. Right, this is the main thing here, source and target. Right, first of all, connectivity should be within the system. There is no connectivity, internal connectivity already should be there, so it's not required client to client. Okay, because within the system only. But outside of system, suppose like Hyderabad to Bangalore, definitely you should be required the, so road connectivity is required. You should be required the road connectivity. Am I right? So yeah, then definitely the road we have to establish it here. Then in this case, SM59 is the one of the transaction code where we can do the remote connectivity, right? So go to the SM59, go to the SM59 here. So then you can do the connection settings here, right? Suppose example, you have the ECD 500 client here. So you need the data from the, so NW1 system. Right, go to the SM59 is the transaction code here. Here, using the SM59, we can perform the connection testings here. So above to above, type 3. Then this is the connection. Then above to HTTP connections. Right? Then HTTP connections, then internal connections, then logical systems, TCP/IP. There are the multiple types of connections are there here. Right? So just you can select it, click on the create button here. Suppose what I am trying to do, I am going to create the connection to the your NW1 system. Then click on the create the connection. So NW1, so there is a 001 client. I want to transfer the data here, right? So then what is the NW1 host here? So KP online 1. What is the instance number? 00 of the NW1 here, right? So here you need to fill the technical details of target system here, which system you are going to connect it. You need to establish the connectivity here, right? Then you have done it, target host you have connected here. Then go to the logon security. Then you have maintaining the details here. That's fine, right? So then click on the connection test here. So then connection test is success here, right? Suppose example, if you make the small mistake here in the connection test here, then it won't work. So let's see. So remote connection test here to check the, suppose I did the small mistake here, right? I did the small mistake here. Then immediately I got the, so connection errors here. Connection is host is unknown, host is unknown. I got it here, which means this is not known connection here, right? So then this way we can check it out. whether the connection is success or not, we can check. So ECD2, it is connecting to the NW1 system. NW1 system, it is connecting here, right? That is called the technical system details. You need to maintain the target host name and the target instance number you need to maintain here, right? Go to the logon security. Go to the logon security here. So here what we can do, client. So means which client, target client is the 100. So which user, suppose example basis user. So the password of the basis user. Then save it. The connection test is done. Then you can do the authorization test. Whether this user is authorized to pull the data from the source client. Yes. So you are getting the response in the 62 milliseconds here. So connection test is successful here. Connection test is successful. Then your authorization test also successful here. Then you are good. So you can use this RFC destinations. Right? So then this is the RFC destination here, right? So there are the multiple connections are there. You can use the any one of the connections, or you can create the new connection as well, where our guys will do the practice with their names, right? You can do the connection testing here. This is the above to above. Sir, my connection is I want to connect to the above to HTTP sites, HTTP sites. So some external sites here, right? So then you can create the HTTP sites here, right? Click on the create button here, right? Suppose you want to connect to the some of the famous site, one of the famous site you want to transfer the data here, right? Suppose like Google. Yeah. So www dot 80 is the default number here. Right, you got the HTTP, right? 200 code response. Okay, if you go to the response body, then you see the Google home page here. Google home page, you got it here, right? So which means it's okay. Connection test is successful here. This is also like that. So above to SAP to HTTP sites. SAP to SAP, SAP to HTTP sites. So SAP HTTP sites to the other connections, internal connections here, right? Then logical systems, TCP/IP connections, the programs, program IDs and everything we can do it here. So if you have any program IDs here, we can do the connection testing here. Program IDs means we can do the connection test here, right? Suppose you have the programs like documentations, then local print, then any other third-party servers are there which you want to connect it. You can use the TCP/IP, logical connections, internal system connections. These are then above systems, the external HTTP servers, external servers here. Then we have the above connections here, right? So this type of connections you can use it here, right? So similarly, this is the RFC connection creation. This is a very important here. Okay, so this is the very important, these connections. Suppose tomorrow if you are integrating with the some other systems or anything, so you need to check the respective destination, which is the what is the respective destination. Then you can go to here. Then you need to change the host name, and sometimes you may have to change the port numbers and logon security. You have to maintain the user ID, password. You have to maintain it here. This is the very important here, right? That is the one thing here, right? This is the RFC connection part here, right? So that's why please listen when I'm telling. So please listen carefully, right? Every point is important here. So just click on the create button. So this is the RFC connection here, right? So this RFC concept is, suppose like example, remote client copy you are doing. So you need to establish the connectivity between the this system to this system. So in that case, you need to use the remote function called RFC connection administration. Then you can use the SM59 is the transaction code to perform the changes here, to perform the changes. SM59 here, right? Here above connections, there are the types of connections are there. Above to above means SAP to SAP, then SAP to non-SAP means third party external servers, third party, then TCP/IP connections means programs. Some people, they are the some third party systems, they will connect through program IDs only. Through program ID also you can connect it here through program ID. They are the types of connections are there here. Types of connections are there here. You can use these connections. You can use this one to connect to the target systems here, right?
Sir,
That is the yes.
sir, this is also pull mechanism like to remote control.
Everything is either remote client copy or local client copy is the so pull mechanisms only.
To login in targets. Okay, targets.
Both are from the inner way. Ah, yeah, just give me a minute. 1 minute. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, what is your question?
Sir, do we need to create the RFC in destination client?
Yes, destination client to source client. To from is the destination. Why? Because so uh, so here you are creating the suppose you need the data to here, right? Then you need to establish the connectivity from here to your source. Why? Because it's a pull mechanism. From here to here, you need to establish the connectivity here. Then via this destination, it will pull the data. Destination means pipe. Suppose example, this destination it will pull the data from 100 to 500 client.
Okay, it means like we need to create in 500 client.
Yeah, 500 client to backend. Yes, 500 client. So that's why I created the 500 client only, right? Suppose here I logged into the ECD 500 client, then I established the connectivity back to so your NW1001 client. I established the connectivity, right? So NW1 so 001 client I have established the connectivity. Because you are doing the client copy in the ECD, then you need to do the ECD only. So here what you have to do, just to go to SEC 9 is the remote client copy. Then you can select the profile, which data you want to do it here. Then you can select the destination, source destination, right? What is the destination? You want to use it here. NW1001 here, right? This is a destination. Right? Means from NW1001 client to then 500 client, you are copying the data. But system to system connectivity, right? Then definitely the source destinations we have to create it here. Where to create the destinations? In the login to the target client, then you can establish the connectivity back to the target client here. Target client, you can establish the connectivity back to the target client here, right? So target to source you need to establish. Why? Because client copies are the pull mechanisms. Just it will pull the data, not the push mechanisms. Pulling, right? Just you have to go target and you need to pull via this destination. You need to pull from source destination, right? You get just pulling. Then schedule as a background job here, or you can schedule as a start immediately. So you can start immediately means it will run into the front end mode. Front end mode it will run. So in the dialog mode it will run. There is no background job. See, in the dialog mode until it will finish it, then your screen will be freezed, loading. See, it is processing the tables data and everything it is processing. So which means it is pulling the data from the your NW1 system, not the ECD different client. NW1 system, it is pulling the data. Okay, this is done. Right? Log is created. So which means whatever the data you created here, So that data is from the, so the NW1 client. See here, previously we have only less entries. Now we have the 92 entries. We got it, which is there from the, we have the 92 entries. 92 users are copied here. Previously only less users. Now 92 users we got it from the system, right? So this is the way. Okay. So this is the
So,
remote client copy. All the client copies related logs we can do it in the, so we can just monitor it in the, so in the SCC3. L means local client copy, R means remote client copy. So then, so the logs we can find out in the SCC3 transaction code. Here we can come to know how much time it is taking, how many tables copied, how many entries deleted, it is successful or not. Then it will provide the some details information.
the question in regards to the password, what you gave, like that should be, let's say 500. So we have to give the 500 user and password.
No, whatever the user you have the NW1001, that one. Why? Because you are connecting to the source. You are
Right.
connecting to the NW1001 client. So whatever the user you have the NW1001 client, so that user you need to provide it. Why? Because you are going to pick up the data. To pick up the data, you require the permission, right? Then that user and password you need to maintain.
So usually we would get the username and password when we do the connections or pulling the
Yes.
data. Okay.
Yes. You will get
Okay.
the user, or so we have to create it if required. You are maintaining the security as well. So otherwise we will get the user ID password also. Whatever the user, what is the password, which client we want to connect it. So all the details we have to fill it in the form in SM59. This will be used actually most of the integrations part. This RFC destinations we have to use it. Naming convention you can give it anything, but inside the details you have to clearly maintain all the details. You have to clearly maintain the details here, right? So why? Because in one system there are the multiple clients. So which client you are going to connect it, that details you have to maintain here. So something wrong, then it won't get the success results. So you won't get the, you will get the error. So that is the main thing here. So main thing is the, you have to fill the form, the technical settings in the target hostname instance number clearly. And so if you are only not only connected, I want to pull the some data from this system, whatever the data details you have maintained in this system, you need to pull the some data. Then definitely you need to maintain the user ID and password. Definitely, you need to maintain the user ID and the passwords you have to maintain. So that system, this system, NW1 specific system, you have to maintain it here. So then this user will connect it using these details. This user will go and pull the data from the tables. That's what the meaning of the logon security tab.
Okay.
Okay. So local copy, remote client copy. So remote client copy, both the client copies, the aim is transferring the data to the your target client, either within the system, that is a local, or outside of the system, Hyderabad to Bangalore, that is called the remote client copy. So but the only thing is the remote client copy, suppose if you want to transfer from HYD to, so be Bangalore, then you need the road connectivity is required, or air connectivity is required, or water connectivity is required. Any connectivity, then you need to do the, so RFC connection creation we have to establish it here. Then so once the connection established means SM59, then we can transfer the data. That is the main thing here.
And it can be like the source can be like production and the target can be quality.
Yeah, normally we won't copy from production. Actually, this client
Right. Yeah.
copies.
Yeah.
Yeah, why? Because while copying the data, suppose like this is the non-production system, this is the production system. So sometimes we can copy it also, not a problem. But only thing is while copying the data, source system, there is a performance issue. Why? Because continuously it will read the data from the source client, then there is some performance issues in the system. So to avoid this one, so maybe we have to plan it in the off business hours during the weekends. So that type of things we have to plan it in the, so in the source client here. In case of production, it's critical system. Better to don't do it in the business hours, off business hours, or maybe you can plan it in the, so backup restore methods we can. Why? Because backup 3 hours will take and we can copy to the target. So DB refresh activities we can do it. But so when you keep on trying. It's keep on maybe 14 hours, 15 hours, keep on reading this table's data, which means it will consume the some amount of memory and CPU resources. So it will load the source system here. It will impact your production operations and everything. That's why people won't do it in the from production system. But if you're the less size, that is also fine. We can also perform it. But we have to make sure there is no impact on the systems. And also, this is the NW1 system. This is the ECD system. Then you need to log into the NW1 system, establish the connectivity back to the ECD system. Then you can pull the data from the here, vice versa. So vice versa also possible. Any system to any system, any client to any client, you can transfer the data. Okay. Just do the this remote client copy, local client copy, and RFC connection test today. Okay, that's the main thing.
Sir, if in remote connection we face any authorization error, so we have to check the login and security.
Yes, right. So suppose you wrongly maintain the details means, so you system is able to connect it, but is unable to pull the data, pick up the data because of user is not authorized. Then you need to work with the security, get the some right authorizations and everything.
Okay,
So
thank you.
remote client copy, if you are doing means definitely they will assign it. So, but you need to cross check.
So the user ID and the password that we have to maintain, that should be dialog user or a non-dialog user.
Any user is fine. Any
Okay.
user we can maintain it. That's not a problem. But the user should have the validity. Okay.